Not in ours, none. Because any side effect we have to instantly report. We have legal responsibility in our study to instantly report it publicly. So that's again a part of rigor. It's not like 3 months later, that day I have to report, that day. Within that week. If I cross that week, then it's a major problem. I face sanction. Because you're talking about, I know something is going wrong with you and I'm not telling the doc about it. So that's not fair to your health. So I have to that day. It's not a matter of, when I publish, I'll send you a surprise. Oh, well, I forgot to mention, now we saw that. Not that the case. It doesn't even come to me, by the way. The nurses and the docs will have to report. And then let me know that Dr. Sen, we had to report this. So they actually know, report first, and then let me know. If I'm out of town, if I'm here giving interviews, they would have reported first, and then just send me an email. So that's how it goes. And therefore, I repeatedly emphasize that just funding somebody to do a trial in their own way, without outside oversight, the beauty is that in the US system, I cannot talk about the system here because I don't do research here. We have a very strong oversight that we have to comply with, being in a major university. And especially if it is registered in clinicaltrials.gov, it's a very transparent process. We have to. If it is negative data, we have to. And I think that's the only way of doing responsible science. Otherwise, whenever it's negative data, you brush it under the carpet. When it's good data, you're jumping around telling people, that's a credibility problem there. So I think the only way to do is you have to really follow the international guidelines and subscribe to that. So right now we are using 200 milligram twice a day. No, that would be a lot. I think then you're going to take other things more than tocotrienol there. So it will have to be taken as supplement. And by the way, if you ever go to FDA, which is the current plan, you go through the IND route. At that point, if things go well and everything works out, it becomes a drug. So it's not something that it will be treated like a drug. So although the good news is it's of origin, food origin. It's not a foreign chemical, but nonetheless, because of the claim, it will be treated as a drug. Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we showed. That's the beauty of this, So as you saw today, that there is Plavix resistance, there is aspirin resistance, and this big Chinese study in New England Journal of Medicine, which is a benchmark journal, shows benefit of aspirin and Plavix and has limitations. And we show in our study now, that is not reported, that if you had tocotrienol, then the combination of aspirin and Plavix is likely to work higher and lesser resistance, because tocotrienol specifically is addressing Plavix resistance, not aspirin resistance. Now the molecular mechanism, right now I don't know, but we can work it out. But that's another story. But that's a very big story, that aspirin and Plavix resistance can be fought by adding tocotrienol to the mix. Big story, coming from patients. Yeah. So some would claim that just before you have surgery, you shouldn't take a lot of vitamin E to contain the blood loss that may happen during surgery. So I would recommend in those circumstances that a few days before surgery that you stop, so that at that point blood thinning is not a good thing, because you want the blood flow to stop. So that's one thing that comes to mind readily.